Well, it's almost summer, and that means the big family vacation may be just around the corner. But if you have a split or blended family, that vacation could easily turn into a nightmare. Joining us again this morning is certified family law specialist Bud Klueck, along with psychoanalyst Dr. Keith Canner. Gentlemen, welcome.
Morning. How you doing, Greg?
Doing great. Now, Bud, you say the most important thing is to work out the details early. Try to avoid conflicts with the child's mother or father, right?
Right. You should get started early, and if you haven't gotten started planning for summer by now, obviously you need to now. Memorial Day, of course, Greg, is our traditional start of summer point, and the kids will be out of school in about 3 or 4 weeks, so you really need to get down to brass tacks now. But last year, Keith and I did a similar segment and a similar segment in San Diego Living, and we did it in March because that's really the better time. And if you want to put something away to help you remember, think about the start of spring, the vernal equinox. That's a good term, isn't it? Think about the vernal equinox, or maybe Easter or Passover as a time to start turning your attention.
Start thinking about that family vacation.
Yeah, start doing the planning and start approaching your co-parent about working out the details. My sense is that if you approach people in January, February, it's kind of too vague and too far off. But once spring starts, then it's useful to turn your attention to summer
and
start planning.
Away, people starting to think, maybe June, July, the family vacation.
Well, we always say, Greg, the earlier that you can prepare kids for any sort of family vacation, whether it's an intact family or not, the better. For reservations, and even to get the kids prepared, ready to go. And you've got to plan those vacations that there's something for everybody. And working with your spouse, even if you're divorced, is essential in order to really preserve the mental health of the kids, so they know what's going on. And the further advance you can do it, everybody, the better. Really.
Yeah. And what about some other tips in terms of, you want to be specific when you're planning early.
Right.
You want to be specific. Okay, I'm gonna take the kids, to whatever, Disney World, July 1st through the 7th. You want to have specific dates in mind, right, and have that in writing before you start planning that vacation?
Well, you might want to actually be even more specific, that I'll be picking up at 7 o'clock in the morning and will be coming back at 5 p.m.
Gotcha.
Now, expect flexibility and be willing to give flexibility, but don't make any plans that involve that kind of flexibility on the person's part until you actually work it out. Put things in writing, but expect that there's going to be some changes in plans. And if, in fact, to stay one more day at the family reunion will permit them to see a great aunt that they're not going to see, haven't seen for years or whatever, be some flexibility show some flexibility with your co-parent.
Yeah, the idea, Greg, you've got to be amicable with the other person. And, we always say this to parents as clinicians, you've got to always take the kids' interests into consideration before anything and try to keep things as stressless as possible. Don't involve the kids in your conflicts. And you've got to, for the best interest of the kids, even if you don't get along with your ex, you've got to work together with them on behalf of the kids. Otherwise, your summer could go straight downhill.
Really, kids and adults, right? I mean, for the emotional health of everyone involved, it can be stressful on parents, but the kids as well. Probably the parents don't always realize that.
Well, you got to put your kids' needs first. I mean, we always say that, because if your kids' needs aren't being met, whether it's over the summer or just in general, in any sort of a divorce or split family situation, your kids are going to regress, and they're going to have a horrible time, and it's going to make things even worse for the parents and worse for the family. So look, even if you don't get along, you've got to put your kids' interests first and really work with them and with your spouse or your ex-spouse to get that done. It's really important.
And I'm an attorney, of course, so I'm going to recommend put things in writing, which is relatively easy to do nowadays with texting and, of course, email. But on the other hand, don't send something and expect just because you sent it that the other person, by their silence, is agreeing to it. Try to pin them down to actually say, I understand that, I've received your message, it's okay, you're picking up the kids at Saturday at 7 o'clock and you're returning them at Sunday at 9 p.m. or whatever the agreement is. So try to get specific. And you might want to do what attorneys do, is saying that I'm sending this email, I'm making my summer plans. If you don't respond to me within 10 days, I will assume that to be an agreement.
Okay, really quick, if people want to get a hold of you, where can they call? Where can they go?
Well, they can call, they can use what's showing on the screen, 619-448-6500. Our main office is near San Diego State, right at the border between the city of San Diego and La Mesa. And also we have satellite offices all over, Greg. La Jolla, for example, North County, South Bay, and downtown. And we'll be willing to, by appointment, meet people there at those satellite offices.
All right.
One last point, Greg, just to top it off, one of the things that Bud does is he's a mediator as well. And one of the things that we always say in what we call high conflict divorces, which we were kind of talking about what percentage, maybe 20, 25, 30%. If you can't work it out, and parents, if you can't work this out with your ex-spouse or whatnot, get some help. Get a clinician, get a therapist, get your attorney,
Very important.
Get a mediator, because keep the conflicts away from the kids, work it out, and you'll have a better summer, and everybody will be a lot happier.
All right.
Okay.
Dr. Keith Cantor and Bud Klueck, thank you so much for coming
Greg.
in, guys. Some great
bet.
information. A
All
lot,
right.
a lot of parents, a lot of kids can use right now, too.
Yep. Important
All
stuff.
right. And for more information, you just go to our website, sandiego6.com. Well, don't be tortured by the two-piece. We'll show you lots of options to find the swimwear that suits you best. That's when STL comes right back.